Hey, how's it going, everyone? So I am making an introductory video here. This is in regards to a new crypto channel that I'm starting. Um, I actually, this is my second take. I ran through one already that I thought was pretty good about an hour ago, and I talked for 10 or 15 minutes, and I went back to go watch it. And I'm like, all right, yeah, that was pretty good. And then I was like, what's that little? There's a white speck on my head right here. It was like a little fuzzle from a shirt or something. And I was like, oh man, I can't do that. So I had to like wipe it off and then start over from scratch. So that's okay. Take two. I'm gonna try this again. I also improvised a little bit. I put a little soundproofing back here, and also that's kind of blocking. There's a bunch of light coming through the window on the back side of the kitchen over there. So yeah, just trying this out. This is kind of my little makeshift studio for now. Um, Anyways, let me get onto it. My name is Robin. Some of you who are watching this video know me very well. I am making these videos because here we are. It is now New Year's Eve 2024, soon to be 2025 tomorrow. Happy New Year's, everyone. I hope everyone's doing great. We find ourselves in this time and place where suddenly cryptocurrency has gotten to have more or less positive sentiment in the general public and in the news media. And I've been saying for a couple of years now that I've been kind of waiting for it to get to this point again, and then it seems kind of surreal that we actually are to me, because it kept, things were so negative for so long. But now it's at the point, I kept saying this, it's going to get to the point where all your friends and family members are going to be coming up to you and be like, hey, I heard Bitcoin's like coming back and it's a really good investment, and people have been making a lot of money, and like, how do I get started? Or, do you have any advice? And I do. I have some advice. I could talk about this stuff for hours, but I'm going to try not to. Also, if you know me very well, I've been known to ramble here and there. I'm going to try not to too much. At least, hopefully, the words that are coming out of my mouth are useful to you. All that being said, for those of you who don't know me, who am I? Who are you? My name is Robin, and I'm an IT professional with over 20 years experience, actually closer to 25 now. I started my IT career back in 2000, the year 2000. It sounds impressive. And I've worked at various managed service providers like IT consulting firms. I've worked for startups, tech startups. I've worked for at least one Silicon Valley tech company in particular, who shall not be named on this channel, but I had some good years there, many years. And I still work in IT, and you would think someone who worked in IT for so long would have gotten involved in Bitcoin in its beginning stages, but I actually never did. I know I heard about it plenty of times, but for whatever reason, I think at the time I was more interested in Scotch, and that in itself should explain a lot. It wasn't really until 2020 or so when I got interested into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, mainly because my mom, of all people, had been into it for a couple of years and started investing in it, fairly well. She bought a few Bitcoin back when it was around $3,000 or thereabouts, and by 2020 had made some pretty good money. And between that and the fact that I had learned that you could mine Ethereum with a graphics card, a computer graphics card, and depending on which one you had, you could make between $2 and $10 a day, depending on the day, and a couple other factors. I suddenly was very interested, and I'm like, oh, this kind of sounds like fun, and it's right up my alley. And I'm an IT person. How hard could it be? turns out it was still somewhat hard, or not really hard, but there was, there's a lot to learn, and it wasn't as quite as easy as I thought. But uh, so that was like December 2020. I think I started with one NVIDIA RTX 3070 graphics card, and I made a little mining rig. Actually, at first, I didn't buy a rig. You have like an open air frame usually with a motherboard mounted on it, your power supply, your power supplies, and then your graphics cards lined up. You've seen pictures. I'll have to add a picture in here. And Man, I should bring up some pictures. I'll have to edit it in. I'll edit it in. Look, there it is, right there. Me later editing in. Thank you, Robin of the future. But my first mining rig actually was just I made it out of Legos. I had a bunch of Legos. I've been playing with Legos since I was a little kid. I love Legos. My son loves Legos. I made a little frame out of Legos, and I put a little graphics card on there, and I had the power supply and everything. It was pretty cool. I'll find a picture of that if I can. And I started off with that, and then within like a few months, my mom and I invested in a bunch of graphics cards, and before you know it, I had like 3 or 4 mining rigs with I think I had like 20 RTX 3080s ultimately, and then I bought more cards here and there and was mining, and through the course of that bull run, which was arguably, I could bring up the chart, but like end of 21 and then 22. I think I probably mined something like 15 ETH. So I did pretty well with mining, but then and made my money back on the investments for sure. Again, depending on what day of the year you're talking about, and where ETH was valued and how I cashed it out. But long story short, we went through that bull cycle, and then the subsequent crash and fallout from that bull cycle into the bear market. You had all the corruption with the FTX case and Sam Bankman-Fried and everything, and all the negative press and Bitcoin collapsing back down to 15K, and then coming back all through that through 2023 to 2024, where things have come back considerably, and especially now considerably. It was a lot of experience, and of course, nobody's perfect, and I, like a lot of people, tend to learn a lot more from my mistakes than I do necessarily from the good advice of others. I'd like to think that I do have some of that good advice seared into my brain as much as I can, but we all make mistakes, and I've learned a lot, and I think here we are, we're at the cusp of another. I think this is 2025 is going to be a fantastic year for cryptocurrency. That's generally the sentiment everywhere. There's a lot of reasons to believe that. It's different than last time for a number of reasons. There's a lot of institutional money. It's not just people coming in off the streets looking to buy Dogecoin this time, although there's going to be plenty of that too. And I think there already is. But when you have major institutions and countries, and now we'll see if it even happens, but the United States buying Bitcoin as a reserve currency, there's we're talking trillions, many trillions of dollars coming into play, and I would like to. I don't know about you, but I would like to get my cut of that. I've already done pretty well this past year and a half or so, 2 years. I was patient and had a couple of good plays. Really, one really good play that worked out well for me. I'll get more into strategy and my opinions later on. Well, not again, but firstly, let me preface all of this by saying that this is not financial advice. None of it is. And I am just expressing my views and opinions here. take it as you will. And I'm just one person among thousands that you'll find in the crypto sphere with opinions, and they're all different. And I think, you should, just like anyone else, you should take my opinion with a grain of salt and be your own investor. I like that phrase. Don't just follow blindly what other people say, but there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom to be found out there. I like to think that I have some, but there's bits and pieces that you can pluck from everybody, and not everyone has the best intentions, but there's a lot of knowledge to be had. So all of that being said, again, why am I in crypto? I am here, one, because it's kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun. I've been enjoying it. It's been turned out to be a fun hobby. But two, I like making money on the side. And three, ultimately, I have specific goals, financial goals, life goals, and as we all do, I think I would like to achieve those goals. And I don't want to go into too much detail here about what my goals are. But as an example, for a lot of people, depending on your situation, it may be that you can only spare $100 to start, and you would like to see that $100 turned into $1,000 by the end of 2025, or whatever the bull cycle is, or maybe it's $10,000 that you have sitting around that's just idle. And you want to turn that into 100,000, or maybe if you're lucky, 200,000. Although I use the term lucky, but I don't know that I like that term too much. Some of it's luck, and a lot of it's educated guesses. That's why I'm in crypto. I'm hoping, and that's why we should be in crypto. There are other reasons too. Apart from our own personal benefit, I do believe, I have good friends who are of the opinion that all of crypto is just a Ponzi scheme and there's nothing more to it at all. I can see why some people would think that, and I think there's much of crypto where that's definitely the case. However, I do think there is good potential for the technology, and there are projects out there that are utilizing the technology well, and for good reason, and show a lot of promise. I've actually invested and am active in a couple of those projects that I really like, that I think are pretty cool, and are good creative ways to also make you money. Which is great. So, why am I in crypto? Hopefully that kind of sums it up. I could talk about this more, but the last question I would like to go over in this interview, or the introduction. I'm interviewing myself here. The introduction, the last question would be that, I still get asked all the time, or I get told by people that I talk to about cryptocurrency. They think, well, it's too late for me to get in, or the timing's not right for whatever reason. I don't think that's the case, and I think it's pretty widely accepted that that's not the case, especially right now, today, this day. Bitcoin has gone up to well over 100,000 and is back down. I think in the moment it's at the low 90s. 92, 94, something. It's been in that field. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by my phone. I shouldn't be looking at my phone while I'm making a video. It's one of the things you'll learn if you have the temperament is that is not to freak out after you've invested money in the market and you're down. You see Bitcoin down 10% from yesterday, or 20% even. If you have conviction, and like I do, in the coins that you've picked, and the market in general, and the outlook of the economy and the way things are going and all the other factors that you have to consider, you learn to not let that bother you so much and go walk away and look at something else. Just don't look at it. I like the term somebody said somewhere that if you don't look at your portfolio, then you're not down. You just don't look at it. It doesn't exist. The tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to see it. Blah blah blah. So, all that to be said, I do not think it is. I think it's actually a really good time right now. We're in the beginnings of the bull market. In 2025, I'm hoping to see. I mean, time will tell. Nobody has a crystal ball, but the way things are going, by April, May, things could be looking really, really good for Bitcoin and all the altcoins, depending on the timing of, the altcoin season. But if it's anything like it was last time in like 2021, which the expectations are, I think it's going to be even better. I mean, Bitcoin, we could see, we're already at, I think today it's at a $3.3 trillion market cap, the whole crypto market in general, with Bitcoin being almost $2 trillion. We could see, the whole crypto market being $8 or $10 trillion, just basing that off of previous cycles, which could mean, 150,000, maybe $200,000 Bitcoin. And there's other people out there that say 300,000. Could that happen? Sure. Is it a bit unlikely? Yeah, probably. Would that be awesome? Yeah, probably. That would be awesome. Definitely, that would be awesome. All that to say, no, it's not too late. Especially if you get in the right places. I think in that kind of an environment, I've heard other influencers say, and I try to be as conservative as possible and realistic as possible, but as crazy as it sounds, like if you're not getting 5x on your money, if you're not multiplying your money by 5 in that kind of a market, investing in altcoins especially, then you're doing something wrong. That sounds crazy, but it's also pretty exciting. I don't think that that's too crazy of a statement, honestly. Again, I've already, in the past year and a half or so, done about a 10x myself. So, and that was not during a psychotic bull market. So this next year seems pretty exciting to me. All that having been said, I've got a lot more content to go through. I think I'm going to stop this portion of the video here, and thank you for joining me. I will follow up later on with some additional content. Bye for now.